Welcome to the Birch and Lily Knits podcast. My name is Amanda and today is February 18th. This is a podcast mostly about knitting, but I do have a little bit of cross stitch to share again at the end. So yeah, let's get started. I wanted to start off by saying thank you so much to all of my returning viewers and a big hello and thank you to any new viewers. It's great. Makes me feel awesome that you're coming and checking me out and giving my podcast a chance. And on the topic of subscribers, we hit 200 subscribers this past weekend, which is super exciting. So I do actually have a giveaway that I'm going to announce a little bit later on in the podcast. So keep watching to hear more details about that. So the first thing that we will jump into today is finished objects. So my first finished object is a pair of socks. I've been working on these since around Christmas time. It was a test knit for Tristan of Dragon Hoard Yarns. So these are the Millar socks, and I totally forgot to grab sock blockers, so I'm going to do that really quick. Okay, I have sock blockers. So we will pop one sock onto a blocker here. And sorry about the strings or the yarn tied onto the tops of them. I use that to hang them up, and I don't feel like cutting it off and putting a new string on. Okay, so I'll put one sock on a blocker for you guys. So these are, oh, sorry about the light. These are the Millar socks. So like I said, I test knit these for Tristan. The pattern is out. It's been out since the beginning of January, I think. So just lots of tiny little cables. I'll show you the front of them on the other sock. So I think she calls this a tiny, like a miniature staghorn cable, and then just lots of, there's some 4x4 cables. Yeah, they're really pretty. This is a Woolberry Fiber Co. Gilmore Girls sock set. It's not available anymore. I think it was from January 2018. It's called Dodger. You might be able to find it on Ravelry on D-Stash, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. It didn't pull too bad when I put in the heel flap and gusset, which is good. This sock, you can barely tell this one a little bit more. But I was worried about that with the micro striping, that it would pull a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with them. I did 64 stitches, 2.25 millimeter needle, typical slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. I think the pattern, I'm not used to having my glasses on, and so I don't know what to do with my hair. But I think the pattern just calls for a stockinette heel flap, but I really like the slip stitch. Just adds a little bit more of support, strength to the sock, something like that. So this will get added to my collection hanging up there of socks that I'm knitting out of my Gilmore Girls sock clubs from Woolberry Fiber Co. Okay, so the next finished object is pretty exciting. It's my Plumpy shawl that I've been sample knitting for Jensen of Sugar Plum Circus. It's an Andrea Mowry pattern. I finished this up the beginning of last week and then got it blocked. It was the first time that I got to use my blocking mats and my blocking wares that my husband got me for Christmas. So that was pretty exciting. I can't believe how much nicer of a blocking job that I was able to do with them. So I will grab that. And I should probably stand up to show you guys this. So hopefully I don't get all tangled up in my mic cord here. Okay. So, which side is the front? There we go. So, it starts on this end actually, and then works its way all the way over here. This is really hard to show. I do have a picture of it up on Instagram. I posted it yesterday. So if you want to see the full thing in all its glory, you can take a peek on my Instagram. But like I said, this is knit out of Sugar Plum Circus yarn. It will be going to her to use as a sample, a shop sample. She did have sets up for the Plumpy shawl, but I think she took them down just because a lot of people have been running out of yarn. So this is knit in sport weight, and I think most people have been running out of color A. I ran out of color B. So I had to break into a new skein, and I used the tiniest bit of the new skein for it. So I think if I would have dropped down one needle size, I would have had plenty of yarn just from 3 skeins to finish it. I used a 3.5 millimeter needle, I think. I don't know what that is in US 4 maybe. But yeah, it's beautiful. I love the brioche. It was super easy. I don't think I had to work backwards once from any mistakes or anything. Maybe once or twice if I missed an increase or a decrease at the beginning or the end. But yeah, beautiful. So the yarn colors that I used in this shawl, the pink is Sweet Cheeks. The more natural color is Flirt, and the brown is Twig, if you are looking to get that in her shop. And I forgot to mention at the beginning of the podcast, again, I seem to do this a lot, that I will have everything linked down below. So if I forget to say where something is from, the link will be down below in my description. So I have one more finished object. I don't think it was a finished object last week, so I will grab that really quick. Okay, so we have another pair of socks, and I didn't grab the next size up of blockers for these, so I won't put them on blockers, but that's okay because it's really hard to see the pattern properly when they're on blockers anyways. So this is the other sample knit that I was doing for Jensen. It's a pair of socks in her Milkshake sock set. I knit these on 2.25 millimeter needles, US 1, and here we go. These are the Ingleside socks. So I've mentioned before, this is a pattern of mine. I'll link down below where you can get the pattern on Ravelry, but it has, let's see if I can show you guys. It has a braid cable down the front. I can't think of the word, seed stitch here with some slip stitches down the side, and then this little panel of 2 cables running down the back, slip stitch heel, flap and gusset, typical rounded toe. Yeah, super happy with these. 2x2 rib. They are pretty easily customizable. If you wanted to knit them, the pattern is written cuff down, but if you wanted to knit them toe up, totally doable. So yeah, I don't think there's much else I can say about this. I think this is an 80/20 base. It's beautiful. There was more than enough to knit the whole sock set. I had a couple grams left of the red, I think, and tons of this milkshake color here. I didn't weigh them, so I'm not sure exactly how much, but I feel like it was at least 50 grams left. And I did 6 repeats on the leg and probably 7 or 8 on the foot, so used a decent amount of yarn. 64 stitches. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say about these suckers. So that is all my finished objects. So let's move on to works in progress. Okay, so this first one is a new start. I started these on Thursday. That's when the pattern released. It's a new pattern by Curious Handmade, her Shell Cottage socks. It's a part of her second round of the Handmade Sock Society. So these are in a bag by, let me look at the tag here, Studio in the Green. And it is beautiful. This was part of a collaboration with Suburban Stitcher, her peach collaboration, I guess that was what it was called. So super cute. It's got a little handle here so I can knit while I'm walking, and flowers, and I don't know if you can see the stripes, the peach stripes in the background there. So it's the perfect size bag to just wad up and shove in my purse. And then it's got this really cute feather pattern on the inside. And I will grab the socks. So this is knit out of another one of my Gilmore Girls sock sets. Surprise, surprise. You will see those a lot. Like I said, there's a whole bunch of them in that basket up there, and I'm trying to knit through them and trying to knit patterns that I've really been wanting to knit, or that I've really enjoy. I don't know. Make some extra pretty socks. So I've kind of too been trying to knit at least a pair a month. I've got a little bit mucked up because I stopped knitting out of order, but I was trying to knit last year's January set this January, that sort of thing. But I have got a little bit out of order just based off of what patterns I found and what yarn works with what pattern. But these are the Shell Cottage socks. So it's just a textured lace. I guess I would call it a lace. There are teeny tiny little eyelets in there, but I cast on 64 stitches for these two on 2.25 millimeter US ones. It's got a twisted rib 1x1. Yeah, I haven't got super far. I think they have just a slip stitch heel flap and gusset, but this was kind of my Valentine's Day treat to myself, casting these on. I'll show you the ball of yarn here. I think this colorway is in Omina Paratus, something like that. I may be pronouncing it wrong, but it's this beautiful lavendery color, and it's got so many different speckles in it. There's blues, greens, yellows, oranges. There's a little bit of pink in there, and then just the green for the heels, toes, and cuffs. So yeah, I don't think there's much else I have to say about those. I always talk a lot about a lot of socks on here, so I feel bad repeating the same thing over and over, but what can you do? It's my favorite thing to knit. So we will move on to the next pair. So these you guys have seen quite a bit. These are my Galiano Socks. Pattern is by Tracie Millar. I think everyone knows about it by now. So yeah, these are in the same bag still, by Knit Two Together. Really like it. It's got, now this bag is a mess, but if you can see, it's got this separation down the middle, and this is a little pouch that you can put notions in. And then these right here, which I'm not using right now, but they're little snaps. So you can put your yarn through there and guide it so it doesn't get all tangled with the other balls. So this is actually a half object now, which is exciting. Last time you guys saw these, I was just where that little stitch marker is from Corner of Craft. So I finished a whole sock. So I will pop this guy at least on a blocker really quick. And I have started the second one, so I'll show you guys after I get this on here. Okay. Now this is twisted off to the side a little bit, but it shows you guys the cable pattern down the middle quite well. So it has a little bit of eyelets, some twisted stitches, and this beautiful cable down the middle. So I worked pretty hard on these in the past little bit, just because they've been sitting on my needles for quite a while too, I think since before Christmas. So I've just been wanting to get them done and blocked and ready to wear. So these are knit on 2.25 millimeter US ones again. This colorway is called Dean You Idiot. It's kind of like the previous one I just showed you in a way. It's a pale baby blue, and then it's got lots of different purple, green, yellow. There's a little bit of blue, like a darker blue in there. Lots of speckles. So again, I don't know if she'll ever have this available again, unfortunately, because it was a sock club, but this is, I think, her smooth sock base, as was the previous one, so like a 75-25. So this is what I have started on the second sock. just a tiny bit. I got distracted by the Shell Cottage socks, so these didn't get as much work as I would have liked on the weekend, but they will get done. I have the pattern memorized now, so that definitely makes it a little bit faster. I don't have to be looking at the instructions all the time when I'm knitting them. So I think that's about all I have to say about those. If you guys ever have any questions, feel free to comment down below and I'll be happy to answer whatever questions you have if I've missed saying something. I just, like I keep saying, I don't want to ramble on about the socks too long because I don't want it to get boring. So, okay, so one more pair of socks, and then I have actually, or I have two pairs of socks, but I'll show you something in the middle to break it up. So these here, I think I've shown this bag before last week, I think, but this is by Tiny Human Knits. This pin is from Disneyland. So these are my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks for February, and I have one of these done as well. So this is also a half object. So I will pop this guy on a blocker. Goodness, the strings are getting tangled around each other. So I did end up knitting the leg of these a little bit shorter, like I had said a couple weeks ago. I learned that it only has to be at least 3 inches long, and just because I want to make sure I can get these done, I don't mind a shorter leg. So these are my Desert Vista Dyeworks socks for February. This is Zombody's Late. I'm really enjoying it. It's got 3 different colored speckled stripes and then the white stripe in between. So I cast on 60 stitches for these. I think this is a 75-25 base as well, but because there's no patterning on it, 60 stitches fits me just fine. 2x2 rib for the cuff, afterthought heel. This is based off of the Kirby Werby afterthought heel. And then if anyone's wondering, these are to mark every 10th row, and then also where I cut in for my heel flap, or my afterthought heel. So I got this idea from Kay of the Crazy Sock Lady. She's been doing that for quite a while, and it's really useful because I don't have to sit there and count stitches every time I forget to write down how many rows I had knit, or I just want to know. It makes my life easy. Just count the stitch markers. So yeah, that's the finished sock of the 2. And then I have a nice long tube going for the second sock. This is my car knitting, so anytime we go anywhere, this comes with me in my purse and I get lots of work done on it. So here's my second sock. The Progress Keeper on here is from Random Fandom Bags. It's a little Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. She's super cute. She's not really marking much of anything other than where I started knitting yesterday. As I didn't have this sock started last week, or last podcast rather. I don't even know. Oh, I did have this one started last podcast, but I don't think I have very much done of it. So yeah, Desert Vista Dyeworks socks, vanilla socks, 60 stitches, nothing super special about them. Looking forward to having them done and picking out my yarn for next month, definitely. I think that's the most exciting part. Is I try to wait until like a week before the next month starts so I don't get too excited about the fact that I've picked it out, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but I did have a couple skeins come in the mail, so I think I'm going to be picking from one of those. One of them was Zombie Frap, and I think the other was Sangria. So I think I'm gonna go with Sangria, but we will see. I guess you guys will see probably next episode. I think my next episode will be in March. So yeah, I guess you'll see next episode which one I ended up picking. Okay, now we're gonna take a break from socks for a minute. and show you something that I don't think I've ever shown you guys before. I did start this all the way back in July, I think, but it's been on hiatus for a while. I just needed a break from it, I guess. It's a beautiful pattern and I really enjoy it, but socks kind of took over for a while and I hadn't worked on it. So I'll show you the bag first. This is in a bag by Birch Grove. I absolutely love it. It's her large sized bag, and it fits tons of yarn, tons and tons. Sorry, my hair is kind of staticky today and it keeps sticking to my face and you guys can't see, but it's driving me crazy. So I think these are on 3.75 millimeter needles. I couldn't tell you what US size that is. No, maybe not. This seems smaller than... I don't know what needles these are on. I will try and remember to make a note down in the show notes below if that matters to you guys. And then I have a little progress keeper on here to mark the front. This is from Sucre Miniatures, a little sheep. He is sparkly and super cute. So I will stand up, I think, again. I think that will make it easier. So this is my Bobble Shawl. Yeah. I'm hoping it grows a little bit in width, which I think it should because it's got the lace in there. But I'm hoping to finish it soon. I just have a couple repeats. Sit down here again. I have a couple repeats left of the last brioche section, or sorry, not the second to last brioche section, and then a little bit more lace, and then the final brioche edging with the baubles on it. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Now that I have the plumpy shawl done, I kind of have a shawl knitting bug again. So I'm hoping that will get me working on this again. So I will show you guys the colors that I'm using in it really quick. So the dark color, this is Charcoal by Sweet Georgia. And this is actually left over from my Zweig sweater, which if you haven't seen it, I wore it in my very first episode. Keep in mind, I did not have a microphone on that episode, so the sound isn't great. You'll probably have to wear headphones to be able to hear it really good. But yeah, this is Charcoal by Sweet Georgia. I'm sorry about the light. I need to figure out something I can set here to kind of block the weird glare that I get. What can you do? So yeah, Charcoal. This color here is by Dragon Hoard yarn. This is called Tarot. And the final color, which this is a really special one. I have been saving this for quite a while and waiting for the perfect project for it. But this is Robin Sparkles by Woolenboon. And I'm a Canadian girl at heart, so of course I love Robin Sparkles. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's a character from How I Met Your Mother. So yeah, this is my Bobble Shawl. Now oh, I just whacked my glasses. This is my Bobble Shawl. Hopefully you guys will see more of it. Hopefully I keep working on it because I do love it and I do really want to be able to wear it before the weather starts to warm up. It's been so weird here in Michigan. Like, the snow melts and then we had freezing rain for a couple days, and now I looked outside this morning and there's snow everywhere again and I just can't keep up. But yeah, Bobble Shawl. Hopefully I can wear it soon. So we have one more work in progress, and I think I'll announce the giveaway after that. So this is in another Birch Grove bag. I think you guys have seen this bag quite a bit. Her tiny ones are probably my favorite sock size bag just because they're so tiny and they take up no room in my purse, but they still fit a ball or two. Like, I guess probably a full skein of yarn and a mini for heels, toes, and cuffs. So these are my Coast Range socks. I didn't work on them. I don't think I showed them last episode just because I hadn't worked on them, but I pulled them out again because I want to get them done, because this pattern, it's by Lindsey, Fowler, and it's releasing this Friday, the 22nd. So I do want to try and have both socks done for that. We'll see how it goes. I have a couple commitments that I'm working on right now, which kind of take precedence over these, but that's what I have going on the second sock right now. So this is, it's cabled, but it's also lace. So there's yarn overs. I don't know if I can, there's yarn overs in between them. Maybe I'll be able to show you better on my finished sock. And then the back is a slip stitch detail and cables down the sides there, 2x2 rib. This pair of socks actually did 60 stitches, and I'm glad I did. Usually pattern socks, like I always say, I do 64 because I find they're a little bit tighter, but for some reason this pattern is kind of loose. And I don't know if it's just my knitting and I'm consciously trying to keep it loose because of this slip stitch on the back. But I think if I knit 64 stitches, it would have been too big. So yeah, 2.25 millimeter needles. This yarn is A World of Octobers by Woolberry Fiber Co. And I believe it's on, yes, it's on her very merino base. So that's 100% superwash merino. And I will pop, I've shown this plenty of times, but just in case you haven't seen it before, I'll pop my finished sock onto a blocker quick. Oh yeah, so it definitely shows, oh, we're still on this side, so we'll show this side. I don't know if you can see, I can see the lace in between all these cables on the front of the sock. Oh, the light is awful. That totally washed out the, okay, that's, yeah, see, that's probably the most accurate color representation you're gonna get, but that's still a little bit washed out. But the color's just beautiful. I've really been into these burnt oranges lately. So yeah, like I said, this pattern is releasing this Friday, the 22nd. Lindsey writes up beautiful patterns, tons of detail, all the information you need to know. So I will link down below her Instagram so that you can make sure you're informed when the pattern releases. So I am super excited. I can't believe I've already reached 200 followers. It's crazy. So I pulled together a little giveaway for you guys. I guess I'll show you guys what it is first, and then I'll tell you what you guys have to do. So the first thing I'm going to be giving away, and I have this folded here just because it has a Ravelry coupon code at the bottom of the page, but this is a pattern by Flock Fiber Studio. It's a beautiful textured rib sock pattern called Solstice Sunset. Super pretty. The pattern is written up beautifully. I own a copy of the pattern on Ravelry myself, so I had ordered the sock set for them from her and didn't realize that the pattern came with the sock set as well. So I asked her, and she is more than happy to let me give away this copy of the pattern to you guys. So this pattern is totally, you can, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. You can knit up this pattern in the next thing I'm going to show you for sure, or you can use, I think it calls for, yes, 6 minis to knit it up as well to get that fade. I don't know if I can show you the, let's see. There we go. To get the fade going on that the socks have. Super beautiful. So yeah, that will be the first thing that I am giving away. And the second thing is a sock set by Dragon Hoard yarn. This is called Turkey Coma. It was an exclusive I think she had out around Thanksgiving, something like that, but it is just beautiful. And it is in that burnt orange sort of color that I've really been loving. So I will be giving away this sock set by Dragon Hoard yarn. Show you the back here. So this is in her 85-15 base. Super pretty. And then on top of that, I will also be offering whoever wins a choice of a pattern from my Ravelry shop. So I guess I'll just recap. There's the pattern from Flock Fiber, the sock set from Dragon Hoard Yarn, and a pattern of your choice from my Ravelry shop. So what I want you guys to do to enter, you obviously have to be subscribed, you have to like this video, and then I want you to comment down below either what you would like to see more of on the podcast, or what you would like to see more of pattern-wise for me, anything like that. And make sure you don't say giveaway, don't say free, anything like that, because if you do, people search the internet for the words giveaway, free, stuff like that, and they will enter to win the prize and then just sell it. And I don't want that to happen. I want that to go to one of you guys who's following me and enjoys my podcast and enjoys what they're seeing and will actually use the yarn. So yeah, comment down below what you would like to see more of podcast-wise, pattern-wise, and I will draw for the prize on my next podcast. Okay, yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. So good luck, guys, and I will let you know who wins that next podcast. So knitting content is done. And I did say at the beginning I have a little bit of cross stitch that I want to show you guys, so I will grab that really quick. Sorry, this isn't a crinkly bag. I don't have expensive cross stitch bags. I just put them in the bags that they come in the mail. So what I'm working on cross stitch wise, this is by Little House Needleworks. It is called Snowflakes, and it is quite pertinent. There's snow, so it's a good thing to work on right now. That's what I'm trying to say. So we'll pull this embroidery floss out of the way. So last week, I don't even know if I had the whole border on this done last week. I've been pretty monogamous working on cross stitch though. I've really just wanted to get this done. It's exciting to see the project grow, I guess is the best way to put it, and I'm super excited to be able to put it up on the wall. So yeah, this is what I have done. So last time, I think I had this house done, maybe the tree and part of the border, but I definitely didn't have the snow, and I don't think I had the fence. But now the whole border is completely finished. And you can see there, I haven't filled in winter yet, but that probably will be the next thing I do. I think I finished the whole snow here last night. There is some snowflakes that'll be going up here that I haven't put in yet. And then one more house and the title down there, the snowflakes, and then I will be done, which is crazy. So yeah, really been enjoying that. I did do the tiniest start on another project, but it wasn't really enough to show. I think it's also by Little House Needleworks. It's called Warm Winter Woolens. So hopefully I'll have some progress on that to show you guys next episode. I just didn't feel like it was enough to show this time. It's maybe 40 stitches, nothing big. But I'm cross-stitching. I did this last episode. I said knitting instead of cross-stitching. I'm cross-stitching this on linen. This is the first time I've used linen and I'm really enjoying it. I like that you don't see the holes like you do with Ada. And I'm excited to see, like I said, how it stretches out and looks when it's framed. So yeah, really enjoying this. It's been a nice break for my wrists when I've been knitting a lot, which I try to knit from like 9 to 5, 9 to 4 every day, just getting patterns done and commitments done and all that. So my wrists can be kind of sore after a full 7 hours of knitting. So this has been a really nice break. I can still stay creative and still keep my hands busy, but it doesn't hurt. So yeah, I've really been enjoying that and really been enjoying knitting. Like I said, the weather's been so up and down. It felt decently warm yesterday, and now there's probably half a foot of snow on the ground. So I'll be hiding inside today, editing this podcast and trying to avoid the snow and the cold. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure you're subscribed and you enter the giveaway down below. Let me know, like I said, something that you want to see on the podcast or a new pattern that you would like to see. Don't say giveaway, don't say free, and I will announce the winner on my next episode. Thanks so much, guys.